Search engine optimization helps your website to rank higher in search results for the specific keywords that you choose to target. Search engines like Google, Bing, and Yahoo look at many things like CTR, backlinks, anchor tags, dwell time, canonical URLs, breadcrumb, XML or HTML sitemap to determine which pages to rank in search results. Did any of these SEO terms leave you scratching your head? My name is Azeem, a digital marketing strategist, and in this video I am going to discuss about few of the most important SEO terms that every person dealing with online marketing must know about. First important SEO term is canonical tag. A canonical tag is a way of telling search engines that a specific URL represents the master copy of a page. Using the canonical tag prevents problems caused by identical or duplicate content appearing on multiple URLs. Practically speaking, the canonical tag tells search engines which version of a URL you want to appear in search results. Google doesn't like duplicate content. It makes it harder for them to choose which version of a page to index and which version of a page to rank for relevant queries. Too much content can also affect your crawl budget. That means Google may end up wasting time crawling multiple versions of the same page instead of discovering other important content on your website. Canonical tags solve all these issues. They let you tell Google which version of a page they should index and rank. Second SEO term is dwell time. Dwell time is the time which a user spends viewing a document after clicking a link on search engine result page. Dwell time is the duration between when a user clicks on a search engine result and when the user returns from that result. Marketers increasingly believe that interaction metrics play a role in search rankings, and dwell time is one key engagement metric that may factor into a site's performance in search. 46% of people evaluate a site's credibility by the look of its pages, including the fonts, pictures, graphics, and white space. Quality content is important, but if your website is not easy on the eyes and easy to navigate, you can expect people to leave your website quickly. In fact, 40% of consumers will leave a website that takes more than 3 seconds to load. General studies have suggested that sites with higher dwell time see greater online conversions. The correlation between dwell times and online transactions suggests a positive likelihood of conversions when dwell time is up, while longer dwell time is a means to a marketing end. Engaging content combined with clear calls to actions and a navigable internal linking structure are generally considered top methods to keep people on a site longer. These strategies often produce a byproduct of greater dwell times and ideally contribute to the larger goal of conversions. A breadcrumb is a small text path often located at the top of a page indicating where the user is on the website. This breadcrumb trail immediately shows you where you are. Every step of that path is clickable all the way back to the home page. Breadcrumbs also appear in Google search results, and you can take advantage of this if you use Yoast SEO or add the correct form of structured data to your website. Breadcrumbs in search result gives users an easy to understand overview of where the page sits on your website. There are several advantages to use breadcrumbs on your website. The first advantage is Google loves them. Your visitors like breadcrumbs, but Google does too. Breadcrumbs give Google another way of figuring out how your website is structured, but as covered earlier, Google may also use your breadcrumbs in the actual search results, which makes your results much more enticing to your users. Second advantage is they enhance the user experience. People hate being lost. When confronted with a new location, people often look around in search of recognizable objects or landmarks, and the same is true of websites. You need to keep visitors happy and reduce friction as much as possible. Third, advantage is they lower bounce rates. Hardly anyone enters a site via the home page. It's all about organic search. That means any part of your website could be an entry point. You need to come up with a way to guide these visitors to other parts of your site if the selected page doesn't meet their needs. Breadcrumbs can lower bounce rates because you are offering visitors an alternative way to browse their website. I'm not sure if you already have heard about ccTLD. A country code top level domain is a top level domain name that is used to define the domain for a particular country or a geographical area. Every country has a domain name reserved for it. This is generally denoted by a ccTLD, which is generally 2 letters domain. Every country, geographical area, sovereign state, or a dependent territory has its own 2-letter code that defines its country code top level domain. Some of the most common ccTLDs are .us for the United States, .ca for Canada, .uk for the United Kingdom, .pk for Pakistan, and .au for Australia. However, organizations often choose to use top-level domain names like .com, .net, and .org rather than using their country codes. Deep linking refers to the inclusion of hyperlinks within content, directing traffic beyond a business homepage and other entry pages. The practice is used in web marketing to guide visitors to pages that contain more informative content, including calls to actions, which can help business improve web conversions. Deep linking is good practice for online conversion marketing strategies, and it's a key way to keep visitors on a website to provide multiple transactions opportunities. In SEO campaigns, deep linking typically includes placing a link on a keyword or phrase that brings people to respective conversion pages or related articles on a site. Deep linking increases site navigability. This is important in engaging audience and making it easier for them to find information that will encourage conversions. But it's also key to making it easy for search crawlers to find and index every page of a website. The more pages search engines index, the more opportunities websites have to become discovered via search. Keyword density is a number describing how often does a specific phrase appear in a piece of text. To calculate it, you just have to divide the number of times your keyword appears in a piece of text by the total number of words this piece of text has, and then multiply the results by 100. The final result will be expressed as a percentage score. Keyword density is believed to have an effect on SEO. The reasoning behind it is that if a given phrase has a high density score, then it means that the text is clearly about that phrase, so it probably should get good ranking for it. Next SEO term is clickbait. Content marketing is all about generating traffic. If you can't attract visitors to your website, your chances of online success are virtually non-existent. Yet over the past couple of years, there has been a surge of marketers and small business owners trying to find an easier route to boost traffic by producing and promoting so-called clickbait. Clickbait is a piece of content that intentionally overpromises or misrepresents in order to pull users onto a particular website. Clickbait generally captures users with a snappy, sensationalist headline, such as "You won't believe this" or "You'll never guess what happened next," but then fails to deliver on the user's implicit expectations. Clickbait is a sensationalized headline that encourages you to click on a link to an article, image, or video. Instead of presenting objective facts, clickbait headlines often appeal to your emotions and curiosity. Once you click, the website hosting the link earns revenue from advertisers, but the actual content is usually of questionable quality and accuracy. Websites use clickbait to draw in as many clicks as possible, thus increasing their ad revenue. Cloaking is a black hat SEO technique in which the content or information presented to the user is different from that presented to the search engine crawlers for better indexing. In other words, cloak definition is the web server is specially programmed to return different content to search engines that it returns to regular users in an attempt to distort search engine ranking by making a cloak content. You might have understood now that cloaking is an illegal practice and is considered a black hat SEO. The search engine may permanently ban from or index any sites or site authors that engage in cloaking. Cloaking technology is considered as a violation of Google's webmaster guidelines, also as it provides our users with different results than they expected. Cloaking is implemented in order to improve search engine ranking by misleading the search engine robot into thinking the content on the page is different than it really is. Crawling is the discovery process in which search engines send out a team of robots known as crawlers or spiders to find new and updated content. Content can vary. It could be a web page, an image, a video, a PDF, etc. But regardless of the format, content is discovered by links. Googlebot starts out by fetching a few web pages and then follows the links on those web pages to find new URLs. By hopping along this path of links, the crawler is able to find new content. Search engines process and store information they find in an index, a huge database of all the content they have discovered and deem good enough to serve up to the searchers. When someone performs a search, search engines go through their index for highly relevant content and then orders that content in the hopes of solving the searcher's query. This ordering of search results by relevance is known as ranking. Disavow definition in SEO means discard harmful links pointing your website. If you believe your website ranking is being damaged by low quality links you don't control, you can ask Google not to take them into account when assessing your site by disavowing your backlinks. The Disavow tool has one main purpose, that is removing harmful links from Google's consideration. If you receive a manual penalty, you will need to use the Disavow tool. Manual penalties are the reason why Google created the Disavow tool in the first place. Toxic backlinks are linking point to your site that has a high spam score. Spam score is an indicator that says how many low quality and dead links a website is hosting. If the spam score is above 2, you should consider disavowing the backlink. Doorway pages are pages that are very optimized for a few keywords. They are made exclusively for search engines and are found before the actual page. The goal of a doorway page is to be more easily found by search engines with the utilized keywords, which should then bring more traffic to the intended pages. Doorway pages can be helpful for website owners in order to make a connection to the target page. Since doorway pages are usually used to achieve a higher rank in search engines for the selected keywords, those pages usually consist of plain HTML code and have a simple design. These doorway pages are not visible to website owners as they are usually automatically redirected to the intended page that has actual content. Since the content is different for search engines and actual visitors on doorway pages, a technique that manipulates search engines is involved. Search engines usually frown upon techniques like this, and they may directly violate quality guidelines from Google. Manipulation like this can be seen as deception by search engines, and you may face a lower ranking in Google because of it. Featured snippets are selected search results that appear at the top of organic results and below ads. They include descriptive text that Google believes will help users more easily discover what they are seeking. Featured snippets typically answer the search query directly on the SERP without requiring the user to click through to the website. You may also hear featured snippets referred to as position 0 because they appear above the first organic position. They are also sometimes referred to as answer boxes because the information is displayed inside a box. You can easily recognize featured snippets because the format is reversed. Instead of the page name followed by a description, featured snippets show the description first. Featured snippets may display paragraph content, a list, or even a video. Featured snippets were introduced in part to address the increase in mobile and voice searches. Mobile search traffic has surpassed desktop search traffic, and more people are also conducting voice queries on their mobile devices. For these users, Google determined that featured snippets would be more useful than its traditional. Meta tags are part of HTML tags that describe your page content to website visitors and search engines. Meta tags only appear in pages code that can be seen only in view source page. The shortcut key is Ctrl+U. In short, meta tags are key things for all search engines that appear in the HTML code for a website and tells the search engine what the page is about, and they are the first impression and point of contact for all search engines. An orphan page is a page on your website that is not linked to by another page on your website. Finding orphan page is essential when diagnosing any site architecture issues because checking for orphan pages may highlight areas of your website that have no internal links, which would result in a poor distribution of link equity to these pages as well as a bad user experience. Having orphan pages also means the URLs will more than likely not be found by web crawlers such as Googlebot, or at least massively deprioritized. It could also mean that pages have been found by Googlebot and are indexed, but a developer or webmaster has not removed the page when it is no longer needed and has instead removed all internal links. Usually, the second instance will happen when creating temporary pages such as a summer sale or another seasonal page that you want to remove once the event has ended. Search engine result pages are the pages that Google and other search engines show in response to a user's search query. They are made up of organic and paid search results. Most people click on organic results on the first page of the SERP and rarely visit page 2. This is why everyone wants to rank on the first page of Google. If you are on page 2 or beyond, you are practically invisible. But ranking on the first page doesn't always equate to lots of traffic for a few reasons. First, most of the organic clicks go to the first few positions. Second, paid results often push the organic rankings down in the SERP. SSL stands for Secure Sockets Layer, a global standard security technology that enables encrypted communication between a web browser and a web server. It is utilized by millions of online businesses and individuals to decrease the risk of sensitive information like credit card numbers, usernames, passwords, emails, etc. from being stolen or tampered with by hackers and identity thieves. In essence, SSL allows for a private conversation just between the two intended parties. To create this secure connection, an SSL certificate is installed on a web server and serves two functions. First one is it authenticates the identity of the website. This guarantees visitors that they are not on a bogus website. And the second one is it encrypts the data that's being transmitted. When you want Google to crawl every important page of your website, but sometimes pages end up without an internal links pointing to them, making them hard to find. An XML Sitemap lists a website's important pages, making sure Google can find and crawl them all, also hoping it understands your website structure. This tells Google when each post was last updated and helps with SEO because you want Google to crawl your updated content as soon as possible. When a date changes in the XML sitemap, Google knows there is new content to crawl and index. Next important SEO term is HTML sitemap. When you first make a website, it may seem easy to access each of the pages from the single drop-down menu. However, as more and more pages are added and complex additions occasionally result in a web page that is not linked from anywhere, you really need a central list of every single link in your website so that you can keep track of it all. This is what an HTML sitemap does. It's the central blueprint of your entire website. Remember that search engines are always crawling websites, exploring the content of your website and categorizing it in ways that help them show it to searchers at relevant moments. When you have a strong HTML sitemap, the crawlers can understand and categorize your website faster and easier. When the crawlers know how to categorize your website, this can increase your search engine visibility. Next important SEO term is affiliate marketing. In simple words, affiliate marketing is to promote other companies' products or services. When someone buys through your affiliate link, you get a commission. As an affiliate, you are a salesperson for the company. You help to make a sale, the company rewards you. The best thing about affiliate marketing is that you can do it at a scale. A typical salesperson only sells products from one company. As an affiliate marketer, you can promote products from many different companies and earn commissions from all of them. Affiliate marketing is a popular tactic to drive sales and generate significant online revenue, extremely beneficial to both brands and affiliate marketers. Keywords are ideas and topics that define what your content is about. In terms of SEO, they are the words and phrases that searchers enter into a search engines, also called search queries. In other words, you need to know how people are looking for the products, services, or information that you offer in order to make it easy for them to find you. Otherwise, they'll land on one of the many of other pages in the Google results. Implementing keywords SEO will help your site rank above your competitors. This is why developing a list of keywords is one of the first and most important steps in any search engine. Optimization, keywords, and SEO are directly connected when it comes to running a winning search marketing campaign, because keywords are foundation for all your other SEO efforts. It's well worth the time and investment to ensure your SEO keywords are highly relevant to your audience and effectively organized for action. A reciprocal link is an agreement between two webmasters to provide a hyperlink within their own website to each other's site. Generally, this is done to provide readers with quick access to related sites or to show a partnership between two websites. Reciprocal links can also help to increase traffic to your website in two ways. First, you'll probably have some viewers visit your website from clicking the reciprocal link directly. Secondly, most internet search engines also take into account the number of websites which contain links to your website. Domain is a unique name of the website that is used to access the website in web browser. It represents a specific set of numbers that are called IP address of the website. The domain name consists of top-level domain and the second-level domain. The domain allows users to access your website through the web browser. All you need to do is to purchase a domain through one of the domain registrators and connect it to your web hosting. Every domain name in the world is unique. It means that many attractive domains are already used and the whole process of finding the right domain name becomes more difficult. URL stands for Uniform Resource Locator, more commonly known as web address. Servers and browsers use URLs to access web pages and resources on the web. You type in an address, you reach a web resource. It's pretty simple on the surface. Now, of course, there are a lot of technical aspects to uniform resource locators. However, most of them are not an issue for the regular web developer since they are handled well by servers and platforms these days. A backlink is one of the most used words in the world of search engine optimization. Backlinks are links from a page on one website to another. If someone links to your website, then you have a backlink from them. If you link to another website, then they have a backlink from you. Backlinks play an important role in search engine algorithm, SEO, and your overall strategy for growing your website. Backlinks are basically votes from other websites. Each of these votes tells search engines this content is valuable, credible, and useful. So the more of these votes you have, the higher your site will rank in Google and other search engines as well. Next important SEO term is broken link. A broken link is a web page that can't be found or accessed by a user for various reasons. Web servers will often return an error message when a user tries to access a broken link. Broken links are also known as dead links. A broken link is quite simply a link on a website that no longer works because the website is experiencing one or more of the issues. The broken links can hurt your user's experience on your website and cause higher bounce rates. There are many plugins and softwares available that allow you to search for 404 pages and broken links. An alt tag, also known as alt attribute and alt description, is an HTML attribute applied to image tags to provide a text alternative for search engines. Applying images to alt tags such as product photos can positively impact an e-commerce store's search engine rankings. Search engines and other robots cannot interpret images, but images can play a crucial part in how people interpret a particular web page. Alt tags solve this problem by providing text which is read by the search engines. When Googlebot or other search engine crawlers inspect a page, images with properly formatted alt text contribute to how the page is indexed and where it ranks. On the 27th number, SEO term I am going to discuss about is anchor text. An anchor text is a clickable text in a hyperlink. SEO best practices dictate that anchor text must be relevant to the page you are linking to, rather than generic text. The blue underlined anchor text is the most common as it's the web standard, although it's possible to change the color and underlining through HTML code. The keywords in anchor text are one of the many signals search engines use to determine the topic of a web page. The anchor text is also known as the linked label or link title. The words contained in the anchor text help determine the ranking that the page will receive by search engines such as Google, Yahoo, and Bing. Links without anchor text commonly happen on the web and are called naked URLs or URL anchor text. Different browsers will display anchor text differently, and proper use of anchor text can help the page link to rank for those keywords in search engines. Next term is bounce rate. Bounce rate is defined as a percentage of visitors that leave your website without taking an action, such as clicking on a link, filling out a form, or making a purchase. The Google Analytics tracking software keeps track of this bounce rate for you. Next SEO term is CTR. That stands for click-through rate, also known as organic CTR or paid CTR. It's the percentage of searches that click on a search engine result. CTR is based on ranking position but is also influenced by a result's title tag, description, URL, and presence of rich snippets. For example, let's say that you rank number 3 for a keyword that 100 people search for every month and 10 people click on your result. Well, your organic CTR for that keyword would be 10%. Everyone knows that ranking number 1 is much better than ranking number 10. At the end of this video, an SEO term I want to talk about is cache. In the very simplest words, cache is a snapshot of a web page that Google creates and stores after they have indexed a page. When pages are indexed, they are categorized and filled within Google's indexers, but they don't actively search the millions of web pages every time that page is called up. Instead, the snapshot of the page is searched since it's easier to access. When Indexers determine the page being requested. It then shows the actual page the cache was taken from. This is why web design that promotes faster indexing is so important. Additionally, when a web page is changed, it must be reindexed and a new must be cache stored in place of the older one. So the most recent and relevant page is the one being viewed in search engine results pages. I hope now you have a better idea about what actually SEO is and what things you have to keep in mind to get ranking results through SEO. All SEO terms I have explained in this video are most important to learn before making an effective SEO strategy.